Hi everyone, I'm iPad expert Dave, and I'm on a mission to make sure that everyone I know and anyone who will listen is well prepared for installing Apple's new iOS update. Experiencing most of Apple's iOS updates myself and helping thousands of clients, online subscribers, friends, and family members through the iOS updates, I know that this process can be a bit frustrating and challenging. In fact, although not often, I've seen some really nasty iOS update nightmares, including the absolute worst scenario, complete loss of photos, movies, and data without backup to restore from. If this has happened to you in the past, you know how devastating this can be and how awful you feel when you find your data is completely gone. And I don't want this to happen to you. So I decided to put together a series of 2 helpful tutorials that will help you avoid the common mistakes people make when updating the iOS on their Apple mobile devices. These 2 videos teach you how to prepare your device for updating to the new iOS and how to properly install the iOS update. That being said, let's move on to this video. This is video 1 in a series of 2 videos that I'll be sharing with you. Video 1 will help you properly and safely prepare your Apple mobile devices for the new iOS update. But before we go any further, I would suggest that you select the video expansion tool in the bottom right hand corner of this player so you can view the video full screen. Also, for best clarity, click the gear icon and select either 1080p HD or 720p HD. Okay, now let's go learn how to prepare your Apple mobile device for the new iOS update. Here are the 4 steps we'll cover to get you ready to properly install the new iOS update on your device. In step 1, we're going to verify whether your device is compatible with the new iOS update. Next, we'll perform some house cleaning on your device so we make sure that you have enough necessary free space to download and install the new update. In step 3, we are going to discuss 2 ways to back up your device. Now, out of the 4 steps that I'll be covering today, this by far is the most critical step in your preparation, so please make sure that you stick around for step 3. And finally, in step 4, we're going to discuss why it's important for you to have your device passcode and Apple ID available before you begin updating your device. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to verify whether your Apple device or devices are compatible with the new iOS update. For iPhones, you'll see that the iPhone 5S and newer will be compatible. Notice that the iPhone 5 is not going to support the new iOS update. In the iPads, if you have an iPad mini 2 or newer, that will support it. And then if you have an iPad Air or newer, that'll support the new iOS as well. And for iPods, the iPod Touch 6th generation is the only iPod that's going to support this. No, the iPod Touch 5th generation will not support the new iOS update. Now, if you're not sure what iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch you have, you can visit these 2 website links to go ahead and double check that. But first, what you're going to need to know is approximately what year you bought your device. And if you turn your device over to the back side of your device, you'll see your Apple model number on the back. It'll say something like A1633 or A1700, something like that. Go ahead and write that down. And then you can come to one of these 2 websites and look for that model number and see which device you have. Now, there's another way you can do this. Look on your device in the Settings app in the About section, and just to the right of the Model section, you'll see your model number. Go ahead and write that model number down, go back to that web page, and compare. You can also take that model number, type it into Google, do a search, and then one of the results will tell you what device you have. And finally, the third way to figure this out is if you go to iCloud.com in your web browser, log in with your Apple ID and password, go in the upper right hand corner where it says your name, go ahead and tap and choose iCloud settings. It's going to show all your devices that you have iCloud set up on, and hopefully you do. And those devices, not only will it say the model number, but it's actually going to say the model name. So you'll see it right there. So look for the model name in your iCloud settings. All 3 ways will help you verify if your device is compatible with the new iOS update. In step 2, we're going to look at freeing up some space on your device to make sure you have room to first download and then install your iOS update. Now, sometimes during a wireless update, you might see a message that says the update can't be installed because it needs more space than you have on your device. If you see this message on your iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch, you need to free up space on your device manually by removing content from your device and then trying the update again. Now, the previous iOS update required at least 1.25 gigabytes of space just to download it to your device. And then it needed an additional 1.5 gigabyte of temporary space to install it. So you needed a minimum of 2.75 gigabytes. So how do you check how much free space you have on your device? And how do you check which apps hog the most free space? First of all, you can tap the Settings app, go to General, go to Storage and iCloud Usage, and under Storage, tap Manage Storage. And when you do, at the top of the window, you'll see how much space is available on your device. Now in this sample here, it shows 14.4 gigabytes. That's plenty enough free space to go ahead and download and install. However, if your device is showing anything less than 3 gigabytes, you may want to consider removing content from your device to make room. Now, take a look on the screen here. You'll see that the 3 most free space hogging apps are the Photos and Camera, the Music app, and the Messages app. I would start there and try to delete any photos, videos, music, or messages you don't need to keep any longer on your device. And then you can come back to the storage settings to see how much space you now have available. Now, you can delete unused apps in this list by simply tapping the right arrow next to the app and selecting delete. For instance, I have double down here. If I tap on the arrow to the right of double down, I get the option in there that says delete app. And if I do so, I would save 578 megabytes of free space. And that is 1/2 of a gig. So right there, I would make some progress. Now you can also delete apps by going to your home screen and long pressing on an app icon. And when it goes into the jiggly mode, you'll see your icons jiggle. Tap the X in the upper left-hand corner of that app to delete it. Now keep in mind, when you do that, you're also deleting any files that you created within that app. You can also free up some space in the Messages app. And you can do this real quick. You can manually delete messages in your Messages app or reduce the amount of time the Messages app keeps messages. For example, in the Settings app, tap Messages and then tap Keep Messages. Next, you can change that message to 1 year or 30 days, and anything older than that in your Messages history will be deleted. Now keep in mind, it'll also delete any photos, movies, or documents that are attached to those messages as well. So if you have any of those that you want to keep, make sure you go in there and save them first. If you've downloaded TV shows or movies from iTunes or any other source, TV shows and movies hog up a lot of space on your device. So make sure you go in and delete those as well. And finally, you can make space by transferring photos and videos to iCloud using the iCloud photo library or another cloud service such as Dropbox or Google Drive. You can also use iTunes on your computer to transfer them to your computer and then delete them off your mobile device. Next, I want you to go ahead and double tap your home button. And when you do that, that's going to bring you to the application switcher. Within the application switcher, I want you to swipe up on every app thumbnail that you see there. And when you swipe up on a thumbnail, it will quit the app. So what we're going to do is quit any open app on your device. So make sure you do that before we move on. Which brings us to step number 3, the most critical step in any of these steps, which is back up your device. Now you have 2 options to back up your device. The first one is to back up through iCloud, and the second one is to back up through iTunes from your computer. iCloud is a wireless backup to the cloud, and iTunes is a wireless or cable backup to your computer using the white USB cable that came with your device. So let's take a look at backing up your device using iCloud. To back up to iCloud, it does require you to have an iCloud account. If you don't already have one, you can create one on your device by going to Settings, iCloud, and enter in your Apple ID and password. Now, once in the iCloud settings, you can scroll down to where you see Backup. And if you tap on Backup, you're going to want to make sure that iCloud Backup is switched on. So toggle that switch on. And you can manually backup right from that screen right there. And when you do so, it'll provide you the estimated time remaining in that backup. Next, you can back up your device directly to your computer using the iTunes app. So you're going to connect your iDevice to your computer with the white USB cable that comes with your device. You're going to open up the iTunes app on your computer. Now, if you have a PC and you don't have the iTunes app installed, just go to apple.com/iTunes and look for the iTunes app download. Next, you can click on your device under Devices in the upper left menu and make sure the Summary tab at the top of iTunes is selected. And under the Backup section, select the Backup Now option. So on this screen, you'll see that upper left-hand corner. If you tap on your icon for your device, tap Summary, and then it may say automatically backup through iCloud. That's okay. You can leave that there. But what you're going to want to do is go ahead and select Encrypt iPhone or iPad Backup. This will also back up all account passwords on your device, which means if you ever have to restore your backup, you don't have to go through and enter all the passwords that you have on your device. It'll be on there automatically. Next, go over and check the manual backup and restore. You'll see when the latest backup occurred to iCloud and when the latest backup occurred on your computer. When you're ready, just go ahead and tap Backup Now, and the backup process will begin. And after you've backed up your device, we move on to step 4. And this is where we're going to gather our passcode for our device and Apple ID. Now, if you have a passcode set up on your device, you need to make sure that you know it. Before you even run the install, it's going to ask you to put your passcode in. And after you run your install, you're going to have to put your passcode in as well. Next, make sure you have your Apple ID. You'll need it after you run the update. So you'll run the update and it's going to go through a process of configuring your device. It needs your Apple ID to configure. So make sure you have that. And there you go. We just completed the 4 steps to prepare your device for the iOS update. Now remember, in step 1, we had to check to make sure that our device is compatible. So that's the first thing you need to do. In step 2, you're going to do a little house cleaning to make sure that you're freeing up space. And you can go check to see how much space you have in the Settings app. In step 3, the most critical step is you back up your device to either iCloud or iTunes on your computer. In fact, although not required, you could back up to both to make sure that you have a good solid backup. And in step 4, you're going to want to make sure that you have your passcode and your Apple ID ready before you begin the iOS update install. All right, and that's it. You are now all set to install the iOS update. So you may be wondering, hey Dave, what's all that stuff below this video? Let's take a look at the section on the lower part of this page first. If you like what you experienced in this video, please do me a favor and click on the like button. This will help me know that you appreciated this video and you found some real value in it. If you know a coworker, friend, or family member who you think would benefit from this video, please click the share button. Remember, my mission is to help as many people as possible to successfully update their device to the new iOS. I would be grateful if you'd help support that mission. Also, if you have any questions or comments about this video, please leave me a note in the comment section below. I love interacting with my viewers, and I will do my best to respond to your comment or question in a timely manner. If you love learning about how to better use this iOS device, I want you to look just to the right of the comments section where you have the opportunity to sign up for my free iPad tips, tricks, and news newsletter. Now don't worry if you only have an iPhone or an iPod Touch. My newsletter focuses on the iOS in general, and it really benefits all iOS device users. In fact, I have subscribers from all over the world, and I would love to have you join my newsletter community as well. Lastly, in the third section right below this video, you'll find bonus downloads that I have prepared specifically for you. Each one of these downloads will support in more detail the information that I shared with you in this video. This is my gift to you for joining me on my mission. Well, that's a wrap for this video. I want to thank you for sharing your time with me, and I really hope that you learned something today. Don't forget, come join me in video 2 as we continue our iOS update journey. Until then, laugh, love, be happy, and get your mobile on.